I'm in North Bengal. This is ground zero for human-elephant conflict. 35 elephants have strayed into a tea plantation, which is right in the middle of human habitation. They have to be driven back into the forest tonight. The elephant flying squad has been called in. They're like the 911 for elephant emergencies. I've been given exclusive access over the next few days to join their team, to see for myself how they deal with these conflicts.
I have traveled through forests all my life, making wildlife films. I have seen for myself the incredible role the frontline staff plays in protecting our forests and wildlife. On my journey this time, I am joined by a young nature filmmaker who's filmed in different parts of the world and is now following her quest to find out just who defends the Indian forests. In our adventures, from the deep oceans to the forests in the sky, we will take you through stunning landscapes, observe rare animal behavior, and celebrate the way our frontline heroes safeguard India's wild frontiers. This time, I, Krishnendu and Ashvika traveled to North Bengal to witness the conflict between humans and elephants. Having 60% of the Asian elephant population and 20% of the world's human population, India is a conflict time bomb. On an average, one human is killed every day by elephants. And West Bengal leads the strike with about 100 human fatalities per year. 25 years ago, I was in South Bengal filming my first elephant conflict. And here I am today, revisiting the same savage story, only now in a much deadlier form. It's no surprise then that protection squads like the Kunya are very busy in these areas. Headed by the ranger Chetri, their work starts by the afternoon and goes on to the wee hours of the morning. They get frantic SOS calls whenever wild elephants rampage through tea gardens and villages. Helped by locals, it's the Kunya who drive the elephants away to safety. Deep, a scientist who coordinates a human-wildlife conflict project here, helped us understand the grim dynamics better.
Elephants are long-ranging animals, so they need to move in order to forage. Because the whole North Bengal landscape is so fragmented, one night is all that they take to move through this.
He explained that while the North Bengal landscape had a couple of sizable elephant sanctuaries, their traditional corridors have been run over by tea gardens, paddy fields, and human habitation. The conflict is thus intrinsic to this landscape.
So there is no continuous forest.
Deep took us to see a model tea garden village, which was relocated bang in the middle of multiple elephant corridors. The natural progression of the urbanization of spaces has played its part in the rising conflict, but some of it is due to our short-sighted planning. And sometimes, this can take a really nasty turn.
লুকাছাপা বলবো না, হ্যাঁ। আমার হাতে ছিল লাইট, 4 ব্যাটারি লাইট, হ্যাঁ। আমার যে খাওয়া দাওয়া করে যাচ্ছি তখন, তা আমি এই গাছটা আমি এদিকে দেখালাম, হাতি এদিকে আসতেছে। আমার জানি না যে হাতি আসতেছে, হ্যাঁ। সামনে পৌঁছে গেল, লাইটটা এরকম মাল দিল, ধাওয়া দিল
একদম সামনে, মানে
আমার এখানে ঢোকালো, ঢুকেছে এখানে আমাকে পাক্তা দিল, এখানে ওর মাথা দিয়ে পার হয়ে গেল।
আর তা আপনার স্ত্রী কোথায় ছিল সেই সময়?
সাথে ছিলাম, এইরকম ধরাধরি ছিলাম। ও তখন ছাড়ে আমাকে ফেলছে না, তখন ছাড়া গেছিল।
আচ্ছা,
ওইটা ছাড়া গেছে, তখন ধরছে এখানে শাড়িটা এখানে চিড়ে ভাঙছে।
After killing her, the tusker entered a house nearby and damaged the interiors.
just imagine turning the corner from your own house and seeing this giant elephant just stand there ready to kill you. It's absolutely terrifying.
After a long night spent chasing the elephants, the Khunia squad was up and ready, handing over the ex gratia check to Punai for his wife's loss. The squad is also responsible for keeping the social fallouts of the conflict in balance. The local livelihood in these parts centers around paddy cultivation. The winter months are when the paddy ripens, and these are the months when the elephants break in to devour the crop, bringing with them death and destruction. By late afternoon, the elephants come out of the forest and head for the fields. And when darkness descends, the peaceful grounds become spaces for strife. Ghostly figures emerge from the vegetation. For an animal that can weigh up to 4 tons, it can be amazingly silent. We decided to sit out one night and experience the coming of elephants firsthand.
ওই তো বোমা।
বাজি বোম ফাটেছে।
The preparations begin with bamboo logs being set up as the first alarm signal if and when the elephants enter the village. People watch over their fields from the safety of their machans.
আজকে অনেক কুয়াশা বেশি, আমার তো প্রচুর ঠান্ডা লাগছে।
ঠান্ডা তার চেয়ে ভালোই ঠান্ডা।
আপনার এখন ঠান্ডার মধ্যে রোজ রাত্রে বসে থাকো?
থাকতে হয়, এখন ধান লাগাইছি জমিতে, তো পাহারা করতেই হবে, আমাদের তো উপায় নেই।
কি করে জানেন কোন দিক থেকে হাতিটা আসবে?
আমাদের ওদের শব্দ সিস্টেমে আমরা টের পাই, তখন ধান যদি খাওয়ার স্টার্টিং করে তখন একটা শব্দ পাওয়া যায়।
কঠিন কঠিন।
A distant chaos had started. We could make out the elephants had entered the village. Repeated encounters with humans over time have made them visibly daring. And what we saw next through our thermal camera took our breath away. There, smack in our sightline. Soon the Khunia squad came into focus, driving the elephants away. Ranger Chetri told us that elephants had been pushed out for now, but were waiting for people to fall asleep. They would be out again in a couple of hours. The squad would have to wait. And so we stayed with the squad, though we were beginning to feel tired and very sleepy. At night, the fear of an elephant attack is quite palpable. They can be just about anywhere and totally silent at that. Unknown to us, one elephant did come snooping for food, nudging the walls of a kitchen in the neighborhood. A part of it crumbled.
हमरा तो होश ही गायब हो गया हम तो ये खड़ा होकर देखता है इतना बड़ा जानवर हम भी तो घबरा गया हम तो अकेले यहीं गंद पाए थे खाना पीने
আপনাদের এই স্কোয়াডটা না থাকতো তাহলে সিচুয়েশনটা কি হতো বলুন?
সিচুয়েশনটা ওইটাই হতো যেরকম পুলিশ না থাকলে চোর কেমন হয় ওরকমই হবে। হাতি ভবিষ্যতে ওরকমই হয়তো কি ওরাও চুরি করার অভ্যাস হইতো আর মানুষ ওই হয়তো কোনো রাগে চোটে হয়তো কোনো কিছু দিয়ে মারতো নাহলে আঘাত করতো হাতিকেও এরকমই হয়তো যদি আমরা না থাকি।
I knew that elephants were super intelligent animals. They played a trick on us. They never showed up after that. Chetri said that often a herd would wait for the squad to leave before they reappeared and got down to business. By the time we returned to our base, it was dawn. Farmers here have their own coping strategies against the marauding elephants. They harvest some of the standing paddy even before it's fully ripe. Of course, the half-ripened paddy is a partial loss for them, but it's a small price to pay, I suppose, to save their entire fields from devastation. But when the fields are empty, the elephants come to their houses to get the grain. The confrontation never stops. I have witnessed how elephants raid crops all over India. This is not peculiar to North Bengal. But why do they leave their forests in the first place and go raid the crops? Is it because they don't have enough food? Or that they are being squeezed into smaller and smaller forest patches? Elephant experts feel that this alone doesn't reveal the complete picture. Like any of us who enjoy taking a break from our routine meals with a pizza or a juicy burger, elephants too like change. They find tender paddy stalks to be yummy and nutritious. Given their legendary memories, they tend to revisit the same fields with perfect timing. And this cycle continues. Variety is a luxury for those in the Khunia squad.
उपाय नहीं ड्यूटी तो करते ही
না স্টাফও কম আছে তো ওইটাই জন্য আমাদের অল্টারনেটিভ করাও একটু মুশকিল হয়ে যায়।
স্টাফ কম মানে
সব স্টাফ যত আছে মতলব শিফটিং করার জন্য যদি থাকতো তাহলে তো আলাদা একটা ছিল না কি আজকে আমার শরীর অসুস্থ লাগতেছে আমি যাবো না তোমরা যাও যেরকম পুলিশে যেরকম 4 ঘন্টা 6 ঘন্টা একটা শিফটিং থাকে না সেরকমই শিফটিং করা যাইতো যদি লোক বেশি থাকতো।
আচ্ছা,
আমরা ঘর থেকে বেরাবো তখন যে আমরা বন সাইন করে বেরোবো মানে আজকে রাত্রে সারা রাত চাই মানে সকালবেলা চাই আমরা জিন্দা ফিরবো কি ফিরবো না এটা মানে ভগবানকে আমরা মানে প্রার্থনা করে বাইরে হয়ে যাব।
There was DK who lived alone and was not happy about it. And then there was the smiling Rupon who lived with his mother. Maybe DK envied the fact that Rupon didn't have to cook his meals.
আমার ফ্যামিলি আমার সাথে যদি রাখি আমি জঙ্গলে যদি রাখি আমার পরিবারটা নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে। এইখানে না স্কুল না বাজার না ঘাট না শহর এরকম জায়গাতে মানে বউ বাচ্চাকে নিয়ে যদি থাকি তাহলে আমার পরিবারটা কোনো দিনে মানে শিক্ষিত হবে না।
What DK or Rupon are saying is symptomatic of the frontline staff across our country. Unlike their counterparts in the army and police, they remain the neglected cousins. A little more attention, a larger investment is urgently needed for these soldiers. And brave soldiers they are. Next morning, we rushed to check out a case of an elephant straying into a tea garden. Elephants sometimes cannot get back to the forest after a night out. They need to wait out the day before slowly returning under the cover of darkness. The squad steers them away from any human habitation back to where they belong. Every evening, the squad would wait expectantly for a call. To take their minds off, the guards watched soaps on TV. Then suddenly a call would break the nervous anticipation. With their moods changing from frolic to focus, our jeep would race towards the indicated location. Tense faces looking out for any signs of the ominous elephants. That night, the squad was at the same place where the elephants had got stuck in the tea gardens.
oh yeah, he's turned back and he's going straight back where he came from.
We're waiting for order.
Chetri informed us that the matriarch of a herd carries her family to safety, taking care of the calves and the young bulls. The driving operation may take the whole night, he warned.
So all night?
All night.
Okay. I'm ready, let's do this.
The elephants were driven into the forest, but as feared, some took a diversion into the village. As soon as they were spotted, bedlam was unleashed. Villagers came out in strength, screaming, hurling stones, firecrackers, and abuses.
This is ridiculous. That's 4,000 kgs running like a mouse.
As I stood watching, both the villagers and the squad seemed to be doing the same thing, driving the elephants. But there was a critical difference. The villagers were saving their lives and property, while the squad was saving the elephants. The last few days had been a chaotic whirl. Events were happening around the clock, giving us little time to make any sense of things. The elephants, the people, and the squad, they all looked trapped. I wondered if the conflict would ever be quelled. In a brutal situation like this, it's only natural to look for hope and resolution.
হাতিও তো একটা ভগবানই মনে করে, জীবিত ভগবান। এখন ওকে তো সারাদিন আমাদেরকে মাইনে চলতে হয়। এখন আমাদের জমিতে চলে আসলে আমরা তো কিছু করতে পারবো না, বা ওকে কিছু মারতে পারবো না, কিছু করতে পারবো, তো ভগবান।
Maybe that was the hope we were looking for. And Deep gave us the only resolution they can be.
The best thing is coexistence. Animals have learned to coexist, but we as humans, still didn't learn how to coexist. We're still fighting our ground that we need our land free of animals, but they are coexisting.
In this new normal, the human-made natural landscapes, the paddy fields and the tea gardens, they will always have wildlife. And for a teeming country like India, there is no other way but to relearn something fundamental, to make space for our wild animals.
There are no words to describe what I felt when I met a farmer whose entire crop had been wiped out in a single night. Or how heartbreaking it was to see a majestic elephant desperately fleeing from a mob armed with stones and burning torchlights. But I'm glad there's hope, because somewhere between these two colliding worlds is the flying squad. And joining them on their operations was an absolute adrenaline rush, but it was also such a humbling experience. Chetri sir, Rupon and the rest of the team will forever be frontline heroes for me.